Oh, hey, Drew. I didn't realise I'd see you today at my weekly trip to the women's salon.
Well, you know what they say, Bryce. You've got to keep your lashes lush, otherwise you'll blush.
Well, I must say, your nails look especially pristine. Your skin looks absolutely positively glowing. And did you get a wax on your chin there?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. You can see that, it really brings out my jugular. Yeah.
What kind of a treatment do they call that?
Well, I've just had a recent HD remaster. Yeah, you like that one, Cheryl? Yeah, it's just a little joke I came up with since we're talking about HD remasters and collections this episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, the award-winning Nintendo podcast backed by 120 Power Star rating. And the doors to episode 95 are open. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me as always is my beef schnitzel, Bryce DeWitt.
Beef schnitzel today?
You're a beef schnitzel, you're covered in gravy, you're looking delicious, mate. How you going?
Oh, pretty good, yes.
Pretty good?
Yeah, it's a bit warm under this gravy, but good.
A bit warm under this gravy. Yeah, well, it's really quite cold here, so I wouldn't mind having a bit of gravy.
Yeah.
On me either.
I definitely feel you on that one.
I want to put my hands into some gravy.
Ooh.
Had a chicken schnitzel with gravy actually for lunch, so
yeah. I'm having schnitzel for dinner, so I feel you.
Maybe I should have taken the opportunity to just put my hands in the gravy while it's warm.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just slather your hands in gravy. Might be a bit cold afterwards.
Yeah, I could think of worse things. Anyway, today on the show we're talking about some news topics, including the recent Sonic trailer. Very exciting stuff, that Sonic trailer. So we'll be diving into that, as well as the topic of the show, which is what remasters and re-releases and things we'd like to see come to Switch.
Yep. But
first up, we have some housekeeping to do. We don't usually do much housekeeping on this show because we don't keep our house very clean.
Yeah, there's piranha plants all over the floor, and
oh yeah, just dirt everywhere. Because they get out the pots and they just walk off.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You really
have to watch them.
You really can't keep them in soil, can you?
Have you seen his feet in Smash Bros? Like, come on,
they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Actually, talk about little feet. I saw a video on Facebook just today that there's like a starfish, what it looks like when it walks.
Yeah.
And it's got all those little tentacle little things underneath, and it looks like 1,000 little legs, and it's just walking. You think it would just walk like, with its
one leg after the other.
With its legs go flop, flop, flop. But no, it looks disgusting. What the hell?
Welcome to sea life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, God, the ocean's a weird thing, Weird thing. Anyway, so we are on the road to episode 100. We're 5 episodes away after this one. Yep. And the plan is to have episode 100 released on the 4th of June. So that is a month away from now, I believe.
Yeah, 1 day less than a month.
So next week we'll have 2 episodes to get us there before. So the idea is to get us there before E3 because we'll have we want to celebrate this podcast, where we've come over 100 episodes and dropping it when there's a big Nintendo news and everything coming out of E3. That would be a bit rough. Yeah. So we're going to have 2 episodes next week, which works out really well because next week we're going to be going to watch Detective Pikachu and we'll have a spoiler cast all about that movie, our thoughts, our reviews, everything about it, as well as a normal episode which will drop also on Tuesday. I don't know when the Detective Pikachu episode's going to go out. Depends when we watch it, whether we watch it the Thursday, the Friday, or Saturday.
Yep.
But we'll probably try and get that up as soon as possible, or maybe Tuesday as well. I'm not sure. But if you pay attention to the social medias, at the House of Mario on Twitter, Facebook, and iDruby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, I'm sure I'll let you know there.
Exactly.
Yes. So, Bryce, we'll jump into a little bit of what I've sort of been playing and what you will be playing. We've been provided codes by
Devolver Digital.
I forgot the. I remember the Devolver bit. Yes, we've been provided codes by them for Swords of Ditto. Yes. I've played about 40 minutes, and Bryce hasn't gotten around to it yet.
No.
So we haven't actually gotten a full review or real in-depth impressions out just yet.
Yep.
But from what I've played of that, it's really enjoyable. It's like a top-down Zelda game.
Yeah.
When they sent the emails and said, "Oh, this is like a Zelda-like adventure," I'm like, "Right, Zelda-like adventure on Switch."
You've got me. Yeah.
I'm there. And from what I played, like the dungeons, the overworld, and all that was really fun.
Yep.
And it's a what's the term? It's escaped my mind. Roguelike. It's a roguelike game.
Almost escaped your mind there.
Yeah. So when you die, you come back as a different character, and you've got to go back and try and get all your progress and gold back. And I had no idea it was that type of game when I went into it, because I really did go into it like not knowing anything.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so I died. I'm like, what the hell? I'm a different person. I had different hair. I think I was a girl. Like, I went from a guy to a girl. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So we'll be talking about that more next week.
I was really intrigued just looking at it, sort of thing, and I decided, well, yeah, you know what? I'll put my name in for a code as well. And unfortunately, it's just like I sort of got the code near the end of the week.
Yeah.
It was more the middle of the week, but I had a really busy middle of the week this week, you see. So, yeah, I noticed I had the code in my email probably a couple of days too late. So that sucks, but life goes on.
It does,
and I'll be getting into some of it this week, and I'll be able to talk about it next week.
I'm really looking forward to it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it really does, and I'm excited to play it. And it's just
There was actually another Zelda-like game on the eShop. I forgot its name. It looked like a really indie game. Like, it didn't look like it had a lot of polish on it, but it was like $15, and it seemed like a pretty standard sort of indie Zelda game. I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind giving that a go. So I might have a look at that later too. I think it's out now.
Cool.
I haven't been on the eShop for a couple of days, to be honest. So I think it was like a week ago, and like it was coming out.
Yeah, because you and your eShop, you were...
Yeah. Like, if you listen to last week's episode, I just went and bought a shitload of games.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wanted to buy that, but it didn't let you pre-order it.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, I would have had my money, but...
Oh, well.
Time goes on.
Can't win.
You can't win.
No.
All right, Bryce, let's get into some headlines. We'll try and get through these relatively quick so we can talk about some non-news. Yep. Because, to be honest, like the last few episodes, we've been talking about mainly news.
Yeah.
And news...
It's been a big time.
Yeah, news...
Yeah. News gets a bit boring.
Yeah, it gets a bit boring. So I want to, bring up...
Yes, absolutely.
I want to talk about something else.
Yep.
So, but we'll talk about this. So Nintendo Infuse. This is from Nintendo Infuse. This is just the games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. So Donkey Kong Jr., Averse, Excite Bike, and QQ Land. That's coming to the online service, so you can play them soon.
Nice. I've played most of them. They've been pretty decent games.
Loved Donkey Kong Jr. was. You know where I played that? I played that on the e-reader. Is that where you played it too?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And you have to scan like 10 cards just to get it loaded.
To get Donkey Kong Jr.
But I loved it. It was great.
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. was fun. Hard but fun.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like completely different to like the Donkey Kong games where you like climbing on the vines and you feel like time it really well to drop the fruit and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I haven't played it in years, since 2004 or 5 or whatever, when I had the e-reader.
Yeah.
Because I got the e-reader and it was like $30 down from 90 or something. Like they were clearing them out at that point.
Yeah.
And I really wanted it for like Ruby and Sapphire. I had like you could get the you could do like the secret battles in that house in, was it Moz Deep?
Yeah.
Lily Cove. It was Lily Cove?
Oh no, yeah, Lily Cove. Yeah.
It was in Lily Cove. Yeah. Yeah. And I really wanted the Eon tickets, but I couldn't get the
card.
The card, yeah. Because I've got like a real thick thing of e-reader cards for Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah. Anyway, that brought back that memory. So, yeah,
weird piece of tech it was.
It was. It really, just weird, especially on the Game Boy Advance SP, because it just wasn't built for it. Like, a bit like stuck out, and you've got to get like this cover for it because it didn't go into like the actual link cable.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Really
see, I didn't have that problem.
Oh well. Yeah, I know. God, it was hard. It was hard times. Next one is Pokemon cases are getting super stylish. So basically, the Pokemon company is teaming up with Casetify to make Pokemon cases and AirPod cases for the Apple AirPods.
Yep.
So these cases are coming for both iPhone and Android devices. And I just want to bring this up. Like, obviously, you can't see this because this is an audio podcast, but I do recommend you go over to vooks.net and check out these phone cases, because if you're a Pokemon fan, you'll probably want one of these. They look awesome. They look really cool. Because a lot of the time, you go to a store and it'll be like, oh yeah, there's like a cheaply made Pokemon case. It's a normal case with Pikachu on it. Like, cool. But these are actually like really trendy looking.
Yeah.
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 And I probably would buy one, but I'm thinking about upgrading my phone later. So
so you're sort of,
it might make me sad when I have to get rid of it.
For me, I think it depends mainly on because I'm a big advocate for wallet cases.
Oh yeah,
a really big advocate for it. So I'd have to have something like that for me to be like,
okay, yeah.
because I don't like carrying cash around on me, so I don't really use a conventional
That's fair
wallet
enough.
or anything.
Yeah, I'm more of just a like my phone is my phone, and I'll put it in a case, and I'll have my wallet separate.
Yeah, which is fair. I don't know. I just like having my cards close, I guess.
Yeah, and that's fair enough.
And I always take my phone everywhere. So.
From these pictures, it looks like they're just like normal cases.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is like the cases. You know how like a lot of the time the bottom, they just have like like they have the speakers and everything just flush.
Yep.
So it's not really protecting the bottom of your phone, so it's getting scratched and that.
Yeah.
I like it having like it being covered except for just the speakers and the port left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it looks like these cases are good for that too. So
okay, well that's good.
I'm not going to endorse them because I got no idea really, but they look great.
Yeah.
I just noticed it like while doing the show notes for this episode. I'm like, these look cool, so I'll bring them up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So go over to Vooks.net, check out their article on it. That's where I saw it all.
Yep. Cool.
Also from Vooks.net is Australia is finally getting Zero Aura distribution in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So Pokemon fans will know that the rest of the world got this Pokemon last year sometime.
Yep.
It was meant to come to EB Games, and
it never did.
Yeah, through some problem with Nintendo Australia, EB Games or whatever, we weren't able to get them here.
Mm-hmm.
If you contacted them directly, some people were able to get codes from them.
Right.
Which is weird. Like, it was meant to happen. It got muddled up somehow. So
yeah.
It is weird now that, like, this Pokemon's coming out now, but we know about the next gen, and we already know about what we've already got.
Where are they distributing it through?
EB Games. So
still EB Games? Okay.
So you go to EB Games, get your code.
Good, I was about to say, it better not be Target again, because ours is shutting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit sad, isn't it?
It's stupid.
Especially, like, it's such a small area. We need those retail places, but...
Yeah, that's it.
Vooks has learned that during the month of May, EB Games will be offering a download code for the electrical mythical Pokemon Zero Aura to be used in a Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. The distribution will be available in store from May 3rd to the 26th of May, and the codes themselves will be valid into the 10th of July. No purchase will be necessary to receive the code. Blah 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 blah. That's what you need. That's
cool.
it. Yeah. So I'll probably have to, because I want my living decks to stay up to date.
Right. Yep.
And it's kind of funny because, like, this Pokemon is like 7th generation, right? I've lost track.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th generation Pokemon, but I know nothing about it. It's just
nah, neither.
It's kind of it's always a shame, like these event Pokemon. It's just like, hey, go to EB Games, go and get your mythical, extremely rare Pokemon. But I really wish it'd be way more exciting if there was like an event and an island and everything to go along with this.
Yeah, like the olden days.
And they used to do that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in the 3rd generation, you know, you can get...
They got really slack with it, and they kind of just delegated like the storytelling to movies. And it's...
Yeah. I like just thinking back to back to Ruby and Sapphire again with the Eon code, Eon ticket, sorry. You could go to a new island, you can get the opposite legendary to what the one you get in your game. You go and get Deoxys on a different island. You can go and get Mew on a different island, even though that was Japan only for the Mew.
Yeah, but they did it all up to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and then that was
they did. Yeah,
that was it.
Oh, Victini, in
Black
and White,
Black White as well. Yeah, but Victini was a really weird case because it was like, hey, if you pre-ordered the game, you get a code so you can go and get Victini from this place.
It was through a Wonder Gift.
Oh, that.
For a certain amount of time, for like a month after the game came
and then
out.
after that was it.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just being handed out again, which is like, you know.
I didn't add it in this, but the Pokemon Company have actually released a new app that allows you to like basically mark that you've gone to Target, which is basically being a part of this event, and you can get a shiny Pikachu in Let's Go Eevee and a shiny Eevee in Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah.
If you sign into that app.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're trying different ways of trying to get these exclusive Pokemon out and trying to make partnerships with retail stores to get you in there. And
I just think they should just stick with Wonder Gift and just let it go as it is. I understand the whole point is like, hey, EB Games gets the rights to this. You go and get your Pokemon from EB Games. You might buy something from EB Games, but at the same time,
yeah,
how many people really do that? if they're going to buy something from EV Games, they've already pre-planned it.
Yeah, maybe. There's been a few times I've gone in there and just, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's on sale. Oh, I got that. That D-pad Joy-Con was a perfect example of that. I didn't go in there expecting to buy a D-pad Joy-Con. I went in there and said, hey, they've got them. Hey, it's on sale. Hey, I've just bought it. And I think I got like the Amiibo Festival bloody Animal Crossing game too, because I saw it for $9 and I just got this random shit that was sort of cheap.
Yeah.
So that does happen. So
but for you and me, we just do that walking into EB Games in general.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and whenever we go to where the EB Games is, we generally walk in there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, it doesn't really influence my decision to buy anything. It just makes me go, if there's a sale, I will buy something, or, you know. I just feel like there's like a whole thing there where it's just kind of like, it doesn't really influence much on me. Anyway.
I'm sure it does on some people, though.
Probably.
And that's what they're betting on.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on. So this is from My Nintendo News. Charles Martinet reveals what's said in Super Mario 64 when Mario throws Bowser. So, Bryce, what did you think Mario said when he throws him into the bombs?
I mean, just about what everybody thought. It's exactly what it sounded like.
So long, hey Bowser. Is that what you thought he said?
If you replace the H with a G, sure.
So long, gay Bowser.
Yeah.
It's one of those things because once someone says it, it's kind of hard to get it out of your head.
It is, but every time I listen back to it, that's all it sounds like.
So what he actually...
Even with this in mind.
Yeah, because I can't... Because what Charles Martinet says, he actually says, which is what he actually says because it came out of his mouth, so that's...
Yeah, that's
fact.
That's how you know.
He says, so long, King of Bowser. I went back and I listened to it. I can't hear Kinger. But I can hear I can't hear the two syllables. I can hear so long. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine King. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
but like
King,
it doesn't.
I can't hear
like
Kinger. I can hear King maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But obviously on the Nintendo 64 cartridge, like the sound bite is just like squished that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what half the problem is. If this was a more modern game, you'd be able to hear him say, so long, Bowser, you chicken schnitzel of a human. That's what Mario says.
Jesus.
With the accent too. So, yeah, that's what he says. Very...
interesting stuff.
Oh, yes. It's groundbreaking.
Break grounding.
Bryce, this is one that will excite you. Bloodstained is coming to Nintendo Switch on the 25th of June. And big improvements were showcased, including like the art style, which has had a major overhaul.
Yep.
Which looks fantastic now. It looked pretty grey and bland before. Looked a bit generic. Now it looks like awesome.
Yeah.
And it makes me 200% more interested in the game.
Yeah.
I'll probably definitely be buying it now. Whereas,
before it was like,
yeah. Well, actually, I'll backpedal on that. I was going to say I'll definitely get it. I'll still wait for reviews. But I'm definitely way more interested in it because it's just so much more pretty, basically.
Well, I was saying to you last night, I've been waiting for this game for years. Like, this game has been in development for such a long time at this point, like literal years. And it's been on the back of my brain. I've forgotten the name a couple times, and then I'll come back to it, and be like, "There's that game I wanted to play," but obviously hasn't been out to now. I remember there was I can't remember who it was, but some website reported on it having some overheating issues, but apparently that was more delegated to what happened with the demo units because they were in really thick casing. And
what are you saying? On Switch?
On Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So the game had overheating problems on Switch, but apparently that was more delegated to like the security casing sort of blocking vents and stuff. So I don't know how much of that is true.
We'll find out.
But we'll find out, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about the Switch version being delayed 1 week compared to the other versions?
No, it's 1 week. I can wait.
Yeah,
I've waited years.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I've waited years. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. I assume it's just because of like sort of having to submit it to the RSB and all that type of thing.
Yeah.
Just all the paperwork and that's involved in it. I don't think they're doing like an extra week of development, trying to crunch and all. Trying to get it out the door.
Or maybe they're just doing final checks on the Switch version during that week before it's, whatever, good to go. So
yeah. Well, I hope it's going to be a good game because I would like to get it.
yeah, looks good.
Next is from Nintendo Enthusiast. So Sakurai claims Super Smash Bros. Ultimate second and third DLC fighters have been in development since launch. So this is from a tweet that was put out and translated by a user called Push Dustin. So yeah, the headline basically
Sums it all up.
But yeah, I think it makes sense that they're not just developing like one at a time.
No,
because otherwise they won't get them out within the 12-month cycle.
Yeah.
So it's exciting that hopefully we'll be seeing another one relatively soon. You'd think maybe in June around E3, like if you've got one out in April, a 2-month gap would be sort of a good amount of time between release and announcement.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if it gets released during E3.
Because it'd be huge. Like, do they have the Smash Bros tournament? They do, don't they? This year,
yeah,
they've got Splatoon. Yeah, so that'll be a huge thing to drop there. Obviously,
yeah,
show it off and everything. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, Nintendo has never been unprivy to being like, hey, here's this thing.
No,
you can download it now. Like during their conferences.
Who's going to be next?
I mean, I'm hoping Banjo. I saw a tweet,
I'm hoping Banjo too.
I saw a tweet, and I only saw it because our good little friend Metadox in our Discord.
Our good little friend.
You don't
Metadox. Know he's little.
I don't know he's little, but no. But I'm just going to say good little friend. He liked the tweet, and it infuriated me in all hell.
What was it?
It was a Banjo vs Minecraft Steve thing. And basically in the whole thing, it basically was like Banjo's last game was bad. Banjo is irrelevant because his series is old. And this is obviously somebody that's sort of young, or
just trolling,
I guess. And well, actually, no, they were serious. They were really serious because I went into the comment section. And they were literally arguing with people.
Okay.
They were like, he's an irrelevant character. The last game he had was bad. The series itself was just old and crappy. And then they're just like, why would Microsoft choose Banjo when they could choose Minecraft? Because Minecraft Steve has a relevant series that has constant updates, stuff like that, and whatever. And God, that infuriated me to all hell. Because I can't imagine Minecraft Steve in Smash still. I really can't.
Nah.
And I don't think he'd work in Smash. And somebody was just like, what would he do? Somebody literally asked a question, what would he do? All I can imagine Steve doing is swinging his hand up and down, because that's what he does for every single action in the game. Every single one. And they're like, oh, well, he could use an axe, he could use a shovel, he could use... And it's like, but for every single one of those things, he swings them with his hand.
I agree with you, but in saying that, like, they made Villager into a fully functional fighter as well.
But he has customized...
Yeah, I know.
Customized animations and a lot of character. Can you imagine just Minecraft Steve walking around on the stage doing the same thing for every action he does?
No, I can't.
No. And, like, that's kind of what it come around to me as well. I honestly don't think he'll make it in because... Because, honestly... When you're characterizing a character in Smash, like, Sakurai's very much about, if I think I can make it work, I will. Do you think the man who created games like Kirby and all the characters centric to that universe making Minecraft Smash work in Steve? Steve work in Smash. Jesus.
I'm sure he could make it work, but I've got no idea. He could make anything. He can make... One of these employees could do a crap in the toilet and say, hey, can you put this in Smash? He would make it work.
He could, but I just don't see it.
Yeah. I really don't want Minecraft Steve. I've got nothing against Minecraft.
No, neither do I.
I really don't want to say it.
I played Minecraft for years. But I just think it's like...
Especially if they're like, oh, we're doing a partnership with Microsoft, these rare properties we can get back, for example. Or even if they're like, hey, we're doing this because we want it to be a huge headline in the games industry to really pull people's eyes towards our game, even if it was like Master Chief's in the game.
Yeah,
makes no sense for like a Nintendo point of view, but obviously with Joker's like a PlayStation game.
Yep.
Pretty much at this point.
Yeah.
It'll be like a huge thing. Say we've got Master Chief. That'll be huge because like Halo's like up there, like next to Mario.
Biggest series of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a huge. It'll draw so many eyes. I think even having something like that would be pretty cool.
Yep.
Like I'm not like I quite enjoy Halo, but I'm not like a huge fan and want Master Chief in there. But I think it just optically it would be awesome.
Yeah,
to have it in there. Yeah,
something like that. Like even just that. If it's not Banjo, something with a hell of a lot more character. I think comes down to it. Because again, I mean, I get it. Minecraft is probably the biggest video game in existence for a lot of people. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's got so many players. It's on every single freaking platform you could ever imagine. It's Fortnite's trying to do that as well. But I mean, Minecraft is probably more suited to every age than it is.
Well, Minecraft was in like the headlines of every website and everything for years until Fortnite sort of took that title. But it's still got millions of users and people playing it.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just more of a case of like. I honestly just want to see a character that has more, I guess, emotional impact or something like that in there. It's like Minecraft Steve joins the battle. They're not going to start making his eyes pop out or anything like that because he's a bunch of squares sort of attached together. And it's just me, honestly.
Yeah.
I just don't see it working. Played Minecraft for years. Never hated Minecraft.
No.
Never thought anything bad against it. But Minecraft Smash for Steve. I said it again. That's the second time I've done it. Minecraft Steve for Smash. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I really don't.
So you're hoping for Banjo. That's your character you're hoping for.
I mean, yes. But like, I just mean in the eyes of any Microsoft property, Minecraft is probably the least representative that you could possibly have in Smash. I just feel like there's not enough behind the character of Minecraft Steve.
I think probably for a Microsoft game, if you're looking at it on paper, it probably makes the most sense. Be like, oh yeah, that's a game that's on Nintendo platforms. Okay, cool. But as far as the splash it will make, it'll be like, oh, okay. People will look at it and go, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And fans of Smash probably won't be that excited either.
No.
So yeah, hopefully they're.
I can't even say like a bunch of, like if you put a Minecraft fan and a Smash fan together and they're like this
make a baby
incredible superhuman, yeah, where they're a fan of Minecraft and Smash. I don't even think
you couldn't possibly be both. You know,
no,
you got to be an extraordinary like human being.
Superhuman attempts. I think it's a case of like, even if you're a Minecraft fan and a Smash fan, I don't think a lot of Minecraft fans really care for having Minecraft Steve and Smash.
Yeah.
I said it right that time, so that's fine.
Minecraft Smash and Steve.
Yeah.
Smash and Steve.
Smash and Steve.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's hope, Bryce.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's just something I had to bring up because in my head I was just like, oh, I'm like, you're tearing down the one character that I'm rooting for and replacing it with something that I honestly don't think would make an interesting character. So I don't know. I was whiling on it.
Yeah, give us some more characters, Sakurai. We'll play them.
Yeah,
I'll play your Minecraft Steve.
I probably wouldn't. I'll be honest.
Hopefully, he has a nice good down spike. They're always fun.
Yeah, it could be a hoe, I guess.
I don't know why I laughed at that. I'm so immature. Sorry.
God.
Next up is an article from Video Game Chronicle. So this is an article about Platinum Games, sort of behind the scenes of them trying to become independent and rely less on sort of partnerships with companies such as Nintendo, what they're doing at the moment. But I won't read the whole thing. I'll put this in the show notes, and if you guys are interested in reading the article, please click on it. Give these guys the click.
Yep.
Read through it. It's quite a. It'll take probably about 5-10 minutes to read through it.
Yeah,
pretty good one. So it's called Platinum's Inaba. It says secret project is unlike anything else done before. So they're making a brand new game. They're not going to tell us what it is.
No.
They go on record saying it's like nothing else done before. So okay, cool, fantastic. But what I want to bring up is an interesting little tidbit for Nintendo fans. So they say that Astral Chain isn't actually owned by them. The IP is owned by Nintendo. So they've made this IP similar to what they've done with Microsoft with what's it called? God, I'm forgetting names today. What's the dragon game called again? What was it called? Scalebound. Yes, so Microsoft kept the rights to Scalebound, even though Platinum were making the game. This seems like to be like a similar relationship with Nintendo. So Nintendo's going to hold on to the rights for Astral Chain. And yeah, I thought that was interesting because I just assumed, Platinum still owns the rights to it. But Nintendo's got the money out, so I guess they're funding the game and they're going to keep the IP too.
Yep.
Like, how does this make you feel? Because I would like to see the Platinum keep the IP just for the fact that without Platinum, if Nintendo just holds on to Astral Chain, it probably won't be the same game. You need sort of Platinum's expertise behind this sort of genre to push it. But
maybe, yeah. But I think it's also sort of a case of like, I think they kind of want at the end of the road, I think they kind of want Bayonetta to be available on more platforms and has more of an impact and stuff like that. So Nintendo are kind of like they've been holding on to the IP of Bayonetta for a while, doing that thing they do. But I think at the end of the day, there'll probably become a time where they go, all right, here's the other 2 Bayonetta games you didn't get for other consoles.
It is interesting how it works too, because like Sega owns the rights for Bayonetta. Nintendo is publishing Bayonetta 2 and 3.
Yep.
And it is. I wonder how Sega comes into that. Whether they're getting money from the copies of Bayonetta, or they will be because they've owned the IP.
Yeah.
Nintendo's putting the money in. Platinum's developing it. It's just sort of like. It'd be interesting to know like the business.
Where's all that money going?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know the business side of it. But I'll just read this paragraph because this. Is relevant to what we're talking about.
Yep.
So, during the first decade, Platinum's resilience on game franchises it doesn't own hasn't always left the company with a clear route forward, especially when it comes to negating sequels. Sega, the owner of the Bayonetta IP, eventually granted Platinum the right to make more games with Nintendo. However, many of the studio's other former creations, including Vanquish and Mad World, remain dormant. Even the upcoming Astral Chain is currently created under an agreement that sees the IP remain with Nintendo and not Platinum. Inabis has said that he is determined to break the cycle with the new creation of 2 new independent IPs owned entirely by the studio, neither of which have been announced. This will finally give the studio the freedom to choose entirely its own directions, including making sequels, he said. So I'll leave it there. You can go and read the rest of the article. It's a great article.
Yeah.
Written by Andy Robinson. So.
My TLDR for my own thoughts, I guess, is that Nintendo's pulled them out of the dirt, but they want to be an independent company again. I don't think Nintendo is against that. I just think that...
No.
Yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, they still want something of Platinum's to call their own.
Yeah. Well, you can see like Platinum were doing like a lot of games just for the sake of, earning money to bring into the studio. And obviously stuff like Bayonetta 2 and that were like the cream of the crop for them. They weren't selling like millions and millions. They were selling like the 1 or 2 million or so, but they weren't bringing a heaps of money. Like they did like the Avatar game, Korra Avatar game.
Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
I feel embarrassed because I forgot that. I love that series. They did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Transformers game. That they've done quite a lot of licensed games.
Yep.
Sort of trying, earn the money. And obviously they work with Nintendo, so they've done Star Fox Zero. Done Bayonetta 1, not Bayonetta 2, sorry. They're doing Astral Chain now, and they did a Wonderful 101 on the Wii U.
Yes, they did.
So they're doing quite a lot for Nintendo, so it's good to see. So yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that Wonderful 101 is going to come back or anything like that. And I think like after what happened with their company, they've kind of just shrunk and they've come down to like a bunch of new IPs that they're doing, and they're sticking with those new IPs and going,
Yeah. No, it's good. Like I hope like their relationship with Nintendo stays good and strong. And seeing independent developers being able to do their own thing is always good.
Yeah,
always good to see them be able to stretch their own wings.
Yep.
Like seeing Platinum not have to think about the money side and just be creative would be fantastic. Obviously, when they're just like pumping out like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, that turned out really bad. Yeah. Just because they're like, all right, let's get it out. It's a licensed property. Let's get our money. Which sometimes you have to do as a business, but yeah. All right, last news story, Bryce. We're going to talk about the Sonic trailer that dropped, and also the quote from the director that happened afterwards. This movie looks. To me, I want to see it. I really do want to see this movie.
Yep.
But it looks pretty. It looks awful. I think Jim Carrey in it. He's always funny. He's in this movie. He's obviously just going to be Jim Carrey as being Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Just his old sense of humor from the 90s, which is
great.
It's just dumb and stupid, and it's great. Which is great. Yeah. But the design of Sonic the Hedgehog, it doesn't offend me just like it offends some other people. When it first happened, when the posters first came out, like late last year, I was thinking, what the hell? How do you come to the conclusion of Sonic the Hedgehog to look like this? But in the actual movie itself, it's like, all right, he looks really weird, but that's fine.
I'll be honest with you. I actually think for the most part, he doesn't look friggin' awful. It's when he opens his mouth when he has a gun pointed at him that he looks at his absolute worst. That exact picture.
Yeah, the one that's being memed.
The one that's being memed to all shit. I think that's when the design looks at it at its absolute worst. I think that the design is actually not as shoddy as it could be. And like when he's not baring teeth and screaming, ah, I think he looks okay. I don't think he looks awful.
He looks fine. It's just when people Photoshop him to have his big cartoon eyes and
it makes more sense.
It's like you look at it and go, okay, yeah, why doesn't he look like that?
Yeah.
But when you look at him just in the trailer by himself, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then also with the main lead actor, I'm not too hot on the main lead actor pick, I guess.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but I never really liked him much other movies either. I couldn't remember his name because I've never really enjoyed him.
I can't either now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're not movie people.
No, we're not movie people, but I've seen him in other things, and
yeah,
I've never really been a big fan of his stuff, so guess that's just how it is. But Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey looks funny. Yeah. Dr. Robotnik.
The doctor thinks you're basic.
What was your name? Don't care! So that was funny. That's just stupid. Yeah. It's just...
Don't care.
But what gets me, right, is this trailer comes out. The internet's been paying out this movie since the posters came out. Now an actual trailer's come out. So Jeff Fowler put up a tweet. I think he was the director or producer or something on the movie. Director. So he says on Twitter, "Thank you for the support." Full stop. I don't know how much support he's been getting, but unfortunately. Then another sentence just by itself, and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. Hashtag Sonic Movie. Hashtag gotta fix fast. What I don't get about this is okay, we want to change the design, but this movie is coming out in November in America.
Yeah,
the amount of work they're going to have to crunch to get this movie out now is crazy, and I don't think any of the problems with this movie are going to be what Sonic looks like. To be honest, if Sonic comes out looking like he does there, or they change him to have skinnier legs and big eyes, I don't think it's going to help that much. I think just you've started this, you've pretty much, I assume you've done most of the work on it at this point as far as the animation's gone.
Well, no, I think with the basic body structure it can still work. I just think they need to change the face. I think that's most people's gripe at this point. Everybody was like, "What is this? Why does he got muscles on his legs and shit?" But actually watching all that shit in the movie trailer doesn't look as half as bad as a still image, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion anyway. I've never been a huge advocate for Sonic or anything like that. I'm not, so attached to the character that I can't see past the fact that, he doesn't have technically one eye, but
yes, that is weird.
Yeah,
as you think about it,
yeah, he's technically got one eye.
Two pupils though, so that's okay.
Two pupils, yeah, two pupils, but one big eye. But I think like the complaints against Sonic are probably, mostly people sort of shitting on Sonic again, and I don't mean to be.
He's an easy character to shit on. It's just easy because of like the history of bad games in the series.
I don't mean to be a semi-classic Sonic fan here, but I feel like shitting on Sonic is just a trend throughout video game history.
Bloody Nintendo fanboys, I tell you what.
Well, semi-classic Sonic fan was a Nintendo fanboy, but the point is that honestly, like I honestly think just anything to do with Sonic has just become a trend to shit on immediately, and it is kind of unfair because I know that the developers really haven't got the people's classic motives in their minds, but younger kids enjoy newer Sonic games and stuff like that. And unfortunately for you guys, it's not meant to appeal to you. It's kind of like Mario, like it's meant to appeal to children mostly. I mean, just because I enjoy it, that's fine. I'm allowed to enjoy whatever fucking video game I please. But
I hope you do enjoy Mario.
I do.
Yeah,
I do enjoy Mario. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, it's meant to appeal to a younger audience than what it is. And if you're not the target audience anymore, then boo-hoo, you've gotten older, you've grown out of it. Let it go.
I find it funny. Like I don't have a problem with the teeth. Everyone brings up the teeth.
No, the teeth bother me.
They do.
Absolutely.
The teeth don't bother me. What do you have? You want him to have like grandma gums? Like
no,
Sonic, gotta go fast.
That's not even that. It's not even that at all. It's the fact the way his teeth look that's the worst. It's not the point. It's not the problem. He has teeth. They just look really too human for a hedgehog.
We haven't seen the movie. Maybe he takes off the suit and he's just like a little dwarf who has superpowers, but he dresses up as a hedgehog. You don't know.
I think you could just give him like a couple fangs or something, and at least it'd still sort of hold an animalistic feel. Giving him a whole jaw of human teeth is just kind of weird.
So I just want to point this out on Twitter. Actually retweeted this, but someone, Jay Bayless, put up a picture of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And if this turned out to be true, well, obviously this isn't true, but if Nintendo actually did organize movies and that to put it together, it would be pretty cool. I'll be pretty excited to see it. Like, I'll just read out Phase 1, but Phase 1's like Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon Red and Blue, then Super Smash Bros, which is, your Avengers, pretty much at the end of the Phase 1.
Yeah.
Then Phase 2 is Super Mario Bros, The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time, Pokemon Stadium, Metroid, Super Smash Bros, The Master Hand, and Mega Man. I won't read out Phase 3, but...
yeah, just so on and so forth.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I would like to see that. Why not? I don't know about having a Sonic movie as the second movie in the cinematic universe. Though it might start it off to a bad start. At least Marvel had Iron Man that started off.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the news this week, Bryce.
Yay, we're through it.
We're through it.
Holy crap.
We can breathe again.
So much for having a mostly non-news episode.
Yeah, here we are. 42 minutes.
Jesus.
All right, Bryce, let's move into the topic then. So you bring it up. My friend.
Okay. All right. Well, so we were considering what talking about today, and Drew dropped a couple sort of things last night, and then I was thinking about it today. As soon as I got here, still didn't know what we wanted to talk about, but something that come to me was that we're very much in the age of remasters at the moment. Like, they're rampant. They're everywhere. Dark Souls, Final Fantasy, so on and so forth. Everything's getting a remaster. Everything's porting over. Mm-hmm. So I guess my question is, for the remainder of the show, is what do you most want to see come to Switch that was on a previous console? As in a remastered form.
Yeah.
So not just your virtual console basic bitch, but yeah.
Just port everything, please. A lot of the games I wanted are here. Stuff like Okami and stuff. where I really wanted to come. But just thinking on the Nintendo side, obviously these could come to Virtual Console or whatever. But I'd love to see even a collection, like imagine Super Mario All Stars 2, which is like another collection of the games after Mario World, which might even be like the 3D game. So you get like a collection with like a nice art booklet and everything, nice packaging, and you get Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and like Super Mario 3D World.
So you want like All Stars Pack 2?
Yeah. I think that would be incredible. Obviously, it will never happen. They'll want to just sell it all individually and get as much money out of you as possible. But something like that would be awesome. Yeah, even maybe just like the three of them. So like 64, Sunshine, Galaxy.
Yep.
Like if you don't want to stretch it too far.
Now, for me,
yes,
I want to see something semi-similar. In the fact that there's multiple games in one remaster.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like to see is Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, get a remaster treatment, but instead of just phasing off into two different games, it's all one full-length feature.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that'll be sick.
So it'd be like you'd end Ocarina of Time, you get through the credits of that, and then there'd be like an additional sort of introduced movie clip where
it links together.
Link's leaving behind Hyrule, and he's taking a limited amount of gear with him.
But it kicks into the opening cutscene of Majora's Mask.
It kicks into Majora's Mask, and especially after that,
you could even do like a little small dungeon or something to tie it together, maybe.
Yeah,
as well, like bonus content for the that version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd love to see something like that sort of all come together. And
Jesus, dude,
it'd be really
wow.
It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool because it would really do more justice to that Link's.
Yeah, because it's the same Link. It's the same timeline. So,
It'd do justice to his story, considering it's probably the most important story out of the entire lot.
Do you think from Nintendo's perspective though, it is like a bit? Those games are too different to maybe put together in the same game?
Absolutely not. It was an expansion. You have to remember it was on 64 DD.
No, I'm just being devil's advocate here. Just
Yeah. I mean, like the other thing is, I suppose, is I would love to see one of those Zeldas made into a absolutely phenomenal, full blown, like incredible looking experience. Like I don't know if you caught a couple years back, they had that person made like an opening, basically the opening cutscene to a Majora's Mask movie, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's a Majora's Mask movie," but it wasn't. How incredible did that thing look?
Looks awesome, yeah.
It looked incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people using like the Unreal Engine and stuff to do. I've seen like quite a few like the Mario ones.
Yeah,
like it's just the amount of shine and Mario's overalls and hair. It's like wow.
yeah,
it's awesome.
Like just looking at stuff like that, like I would love to see. We've got a very open world Zelda. People are still discovering stuff to this day, like how to use conductives to do certain things in the world and all that stuff. And like Breath of the Wild is truly a timeless game, but I would love to see a really cinematic experience come out of a Zelda game. But I don't feel like they have to like go and create one. I feel like they could just take those two games, sort of smash them together, create like a really, really polished, like full-length Zelda story.
Well, do you think even like unlike the 3DS ones where it's like better graphics and a bit of nice stuff here and there, do you reckon like get the two games, put them together and like really change them? Not necessarily change the dungeons and that, but like put like more story in there, more cutscenes in there, more.
I would just like to see like on the same level of polish up, so a sort of remake, if you will. Keep the engine sort of similar, don't change it too much, just maybe fix all the iggledy-piggledy stuff, and then just make it look really pretty, and go from there. Like, I really think we need like a really pretty Hyrule field to run in, I know that it wasn't filled with amazing and incredible things, Ocarina of Time's Hyrule field, but it was still a pretty neat Hyrule field to just run around in.
Yeah.
You had Pose and you had big giant helicopter pineapples, and those things were something.
As long as they fly away from a pizza, I'm okay. It's like even just like the basic stuff, like get the ports from the Wii U over from Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Get those games over.
Yeah, just
real like they will come.
Yeah,
like even like the Switch is dying, they'll probably bring them over and just chuck them on there for a bit of easy money.
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. But, put them on the eShop for $20 or something. Well,
$20,
$30.
You're dreaming, mate. They're gonna be.
They won't be full price. No way.
They will be.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I don't think so.
No, I've got no faith that they won't be, but I'm glad you're optimistic.
Nah, I
Good lad.
don't think so. Unless if it's going to be full price, then both of them. I think like the thing about those two HD Zelda games is they were two of the best ones you could pick, in like my honest opinion. They were both completely different from each other. They both cater to like multiple Zelda audiences, and just overall, both of them are very great games. Like I love both of them. Wind Waker was like the biggest turnaround for a Zelda in history. Like people were like,
no joke. Yeah.
They were like, "What the hell is this? This isn't Zelda." And then it turned out to be one of the best Zeldas they'd ever made.
Goddamn Zelda.
Yes, Zelda, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Twilight Princess, like I see a lot more criticism for Twilight Princess over the years than I do positive things.
That turned around, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But honestly, I think Twilight Princess has like some of the most engaging characters in a Zelda game. Yeah. They've got a lot of character. I think like it's really just like you can feel Ocarina of Time in that game through some of the characters. And
that was a lot of the, I guess, the problem with the Zelda series. After Ocarina of Time sort of set what the series would become, Nintendo didn't stray away from it at all.
No.
And that's why by the time we got to Skyward Sword, it's like, oh shit, we need something different. And Nintendo reacted to that, and that's how we got Breath of the Wild. But I think Twilight Princess it had a bit of fat on it, but God, it was a good game.
It was.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I loved it. It had the most cinematic Ganondorf fight ever, and it was just, yeah. It was really so good, in my opinion. I can't ever fault Twilight Princess for too much. Yeah. I know especially, I think it was you that doesn't like the wolf sections too much at the start of every Twilight Zone or whatever.
It's not that I hate them. It's just like I can understand why people don't like them.
Yeah, right.
But, I don't think they need to do it for like repeat it like pretty much the same thing again and again. Like, was it 3 or 4 times you do it?
3,
yeah.
And then you get stuck as a wolf once, where you have to go to Hyrule Castle, but you don't have to collect any tears.
Yeah.
So it's well, no, I think like, especially when it comes to that, and this is going to sound really weird because I honestly, if I had to give if I had to give Skyward Sword a rating out of 10, I'd give it a 4.
A 4, really? Out of 10.
Honestly, it was
I'll give it a 6.5 or a 7.
But having Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword would be a great collection. For example,
it'd be awesome
because I really love this. I really love the story elements of Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker. I love the story elements in all 3 of them. They're really great Zelda games. Chuck them in a collection. Call it a Zelda Generations collection, where it's gone from GameCube to Wii to,
Yeah. Just GameCube to Wii.
Yeah. I had to think about that for a second.
It's like, so wait, where you didn't have any?
No, it didn't. Yeah, well, not technically to the Breath of the Wild. But it's just, it's sort of a case of like, I believe the gameplay in both Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are fantastic, but Skyward Sword, the only thing that I would ever play that game for is lore reasons. And I don't think I need to say too much about it. If you've never played Skyward Sword, maybe skip ahead 2 minutes. But
there were some brilliant pieces in that game, though.
There was some brilliant music, brilliant story.
But the way they used the time stones for puzzles, I thought was just outstanding.
Yes.
Like when you're in the boat with the time stone.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I know you don't, but I'm just going to bring it up. But when you're going like towards the pirate ship, which is the dungeon in the desert, and you can't get there, but you got the time stone on the boat, and basically back in time, it used to be like water there, so you're just traveling through the desert, but your little section around your boat is water, and you're just sailing there.
Yes.
And the way they used it in that dungeon and like the dungeon afterwards, I thought they were just like, it really blew my mind how
it was a good
creative
dungeon
that was.
design.
Yeah,
like I thought that also was creative, but I can't get it out of my head on how much they reused assets consistently. The overworld was far more bland than something they did nearly 2 generations prior in Wind Waker, and
yeah, well, it was almost 10 years after.
Yeah,
about 9 or 8 years.
And the tier collecting process in that game was far worse than Twilight Princess's.
100% agreed.
It was 100% annoying. Wii Motion Plus was a really stupid gateway to get into that game, because if you didn't have one and didn't buy the pack, then you had to buy yourself a Wii Motion Plus or a Plus enabled remote plus the game. It really, honestly, was a dumb as fuck game to try and get into. The story was great and there was some creative design in it, but the gameplay sucked.
So just bringing this conversation back to collections and remasters.
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, in that...
Yeah. Sorry, how would this game work on the Switch? Would you be like, all right, use the Joy-Cons? Would you try and remap that to buttons? Because it would be pretty a pretty hard thing to elegantly map to buttons.
I'll be honest with you, the game... No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You can still pull... Like, I get that there's more precise movement in Skyward Sword, but maybe just take out a couple of options, but there's no reason you couldn't remap the game to buttons. Back in Ocarina of Time, and even in, as Zelda has gone on through time, there is ways to do different slashes, when you're standing still, you got horizontal and all that shit.
I know that, yeah.
You can still do that. You can still make a very technically smart Zelda with your combat without having to use motion controls. It doesn't have to be that, it doesn't have to be motion control enabled. I just think, like, the way it is, as it is on the Wii, where it currently is, and obviously people have been talking about rumours about Skyward Sword coming to Switch and all that shit, and it's great, but it does need to tone. It needs to keep the option, but it needs to not be the only option. I honestly think it's not a fantastic method of play for a Zelda game to be that integrated. With Twilight Princess, it was like, whatever, you shake your remote, you swing your sword, great. It acts as a button. I don't have to be precise or do some bullshit and have to stand at a decent distance from the TV, but not too far.
Yeah, not too far.
It's just, I think, like, that game with control improvements would probably be, like, a much further up their game, maybe another extra 2 points for me, so maybe a 6. Just because motion controls are frustrating to deal with, and they're not convenient, I guess. And the way they tried to implement them was it was ambitious, too far ambitious. But in saying that, I do feel like it belongs in a trio of games that are filled with story.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like if you were going to put games in a collection, Zelda games in a collection that had story in them, Skyward Sword definitely has a stronger portion of the story.
It's probably got one of the strongest stories in the series.
Yeah, especially if you read the manga too.
Yeah,
the manga adds even more to it.
Yeah, which was included in the Hyrule Historia. Released around that time. Yeah. No, that was great too. Like, I love just like learning about. Because it's technically the first game in the timeline, so learning, like, where does the Triforce come from? Why is Link and Zelda and Ganon reincarnated every, era or generation or whatever you want to call it? I thought it was really fascinating.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I guess another collection I'd like to see. I was thinking about this. I was thinking it would be good to have, like, the Pikmin games. 1, 2, and...
If that makes sense. Pikmin is not something I really feel like sitting at a TV and playing. It could just be me. I just don't really...
Yeah, we all have those games where it's like, all right... doesn't need all our attention, and it's either too really long or it's not a big TV cinematic experience.
Exactly.
So that's a short one for me. Another real big one, and this is completely made up now. This isn't actually one which we're going to expect to see, but I'd love to see like a Pokemon collection come. Just knowing the Pokemon Company and Nintendo and like all of that stuff, we're not going to see this.
No way, it's not going to happen.
No way, but I'd love to see like what you were saying with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask put together. So somehow you put together Gen 1, I guess I was going to say Gen 1, Gen 2, they already kind of are. Then like you put like Gen 1, 2 and 3 together.
Yeah.
So what you might play through Red and Blue, then you can sort of like keep those Pokemon, and when you go to the Johto region, the graphics change.
Yeah.
And the same with when you go to Hoenn in Gen 3, the graphics change again, and you get to keep your name, your Pokemon, and all that. It just sort of crosses over.
Pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome. Just why not?
Yeah, for
One
sure.
of those things. I've always wanted just like the Pokemon games natively on the Switch.
Yep.
On a console without, the Game Boy player or the Game Boy Advance player on the GameCube, or putting it on your PC and HDMIing it up to your computer, up to your TV, which I've done plenty of times. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just having it legit there and having a save file where you're like, all right, this isn't hacked or illegal. Would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a good Pokemon one would be like the Mystery Dungeon games together.
Yeah.
Because I really liked them. The original one on Game Boy Advance and DS, and also the other.
Those ones are so good.
The sequels were fantastic. Was it Explorers of Darkness and Explorers of Time?
Yes.
They were fantastic.
They were fantastic.
I was blown away with that story.
Yeah.
Because like you look at reviews and whatever, and they were just like, 6 out of 10, whatever, pretty plain.
I loved it,
and I played it because.
And they had some really challenging endgame.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about Mystery Dungeon games, is they had some really challenging endgame, which is something that you don't get in Pokemon games.
Yes.
They were really good. Sad.
Yeah, and they were just fun games to sort of, you've got like a 30-floor dungeon or a 100-floor dungeon, whatever it might be. It's just like getting there, those high-level dungeons, gets quite tense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
What
about that one that starts at level 1 and goes 100 floors, and you have to work your way up to level 100 while you climb?
Yeah,
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, because you've got to like level up again as you're doing it.
Yep, but you've also got to collect supplies along the way, and you could get screwed up if you use your supplies at the wrong time or don't min-max your supplies. It's like a really big deal.
Yeah.
Just some challenging sort of stuff like that. I mean, I agree with that. I think Mystery Dungeon is like... I know the newer one was apparently good, and I've got it sitting somewhere ready to play, and I just never have.
Yeah.
But the one prior to that, Gates to Infinity, that was shit, apparently.
A few of the 3DS ones were a pretty miss. But the thing with that too is, though, I didn't play them. And as I said, with the reviews for these past games, which we absolutely loved, they got bad reviews too.
Yeah.
So these games getting bad reviews might not indicate how we would actually feel about it.
Probably not. But I'll probably go back and play Mystery Dungeon, Super Mystery Dungeon. I won't go back and play Gates to Infinity. I don't really like the idea of using AR to create dungeons and all that stuff. Like, it seems like a neat idea, but I feel like that's probably what the most main focus is of the game.
Had a couple more like gimmicks in there, which is like, I'm not really interested in that. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed leveling up. Like all the Pokemon have like really unique character as well.
Yeah.
You had like your guild, and like the Bidoff is like real timid in that, and and you have like your leader who turns out to not be who you think he is, and it was like really, really well done.
Yeah, for sure.
And you were not expecting that from like a
Pokemon game.
A spin-off Pokemon game by, was it Chunsoft?
Yeah, Chunsoft.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fantastic. I don't know the logistics of seeing like DS games, come to a collection or something on Switch, but definitely would like to see it.
Yeah, something I would love to see remaster or remade, I should probably say, now that we're sort of coming off the back end of collections, just into games that are done sort of solo, is I'd like to see a classic Fire Emblem game remade.
Oh, yeah.
So something like Blazing Sword or, I would love to see something like that remade.
Remember, the first one was remade on DS, so...
Yeah, but... I mean, like on a full feature, like Three Houses level. Yeah,
I was just saying that because I was just saying that to basically say that it's not off the cards because they've done it in the past. So expect like if the next one goes well, we might see that in the future.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really look at I've been watching the Twitter every now and then. I'm seeing the teasers for Three Houses, and I really want to play that game. Like I really do. I can't even. When is it?
July 27th,
I think.
That's a date that's in my head.
Yeah,
I'll look it up while you talk. Yeah,
I would love to see, because being a Smash Bros player, I've fallen in love with like the older characters of Fire Emblem as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I like the newer characters, so like Chrom, Lucina, and all that as well, but they all hold sort of a resemblance back to, obviously, Marth and stuff, but just characters like Hector and Lyn and Roy, you know, those sort of characters.
I was way off, Bryce. It's July 26th. I'm sorry, mate.
Oh, no, you've completely screwed my schedule.
I was one day off.
Well,
Oh.
but it still feels like a century away to me. Away
Yeah,
for me.
it does, yeah.
Like, I really do want to play that game.
Well, it's still 3 months.
Yeah. Like,
Bit under,
it
yeah.
still feels ages. Like, I would love to play that game. I would play the shit out of that game.
You know, actually, I'm just looking at the EB games now. One game that I'm actually I am happy is coming. Is actually like the Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I didn't play that game a whole lot just because like none of my friends had it on their PlayStations. But
Yep.
I'm happy that another sort of Mario Kart competitor is coming to the Switch.
It is a really good game too.
Yeah.
Like, it has a Diddy Kong Racing style adventure mode, and that's pretty damn good. But yeah, a classic Fire Emblem would be great. I also want to see F-Zero get some love, and I feel
We
like
need some love. We need some loving.
yeah, it really does, and I feel like they don't have to create a new F-Zero game for that. I have a feeling they could just bring F-Zero GX over and make it look really pretty, because F-Zero GX was like a really, really good game. It was really hard, mind you, and had some really weird like cutscenes at times. But I feel like if they redid the cutscenes and just prettied up the game really nicely, you'd have a really good F-Zero game, like on the console.
Did you have Did you have that
I never had it. I borrowed it
from Thomas?
from David.
Okay, I was about to say because Thomas is the one with like all the GameCube games.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
David had a whole drawer of it
Yeah.
as well. I like.
I've only played it like a little bit. I haven't played it a whole lot because I didn't know anyone who had it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would really love to see those two series sort of get some more loving and like attention from the remakes, remasters sort of shelf.
I think an obvious one, which is one like most people are clamoring for, is like the Metroid trilogy, the come to Switch.
Yeah,
That's an obvious one. I have 1, 2, and 3, obviously on the lead up to Metroid Prime 4, which is years away.
I think it's a given. Like,
yeah, you would think so. Yeah.
I feel like I know they did it on the Wii because they were like, oh, you know, put them all together and then it sort of looks good in a collection.
Because you already have 3 on the Wii, so you just sort of
So you just
bring the other 2 there. Yeah,
I just kind of wish they'd put them all on the Switch, and then at least that'll. I feel like they're going to do that now. Now that they've done this and delayed the game, and it's going to take years to come out. I feel like they are going to put the trilogy on Switch now because of it.
I think they will too. But like looking at the release schedule this year, they've got enough.
It's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, they've got enough. They don't need Metroid like pack in there. It'll be a good like filler title for next year, I feel.
Yeah.
Then like maybe the year after or the year even after that, that's when 4 comes out.
And I would buy it. I would buy it. Sorry. I would buy it. Because really I need to go through all those games again.
Yeah.
You know?
I've only played like a bit of 1, I think. I haven't played a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'd love to play them on Switch.
Echoes is apparently really good, but I haven't played through all of it. Corruption's fun.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like it's just time to have that collection to get ready for Metroid Prime 4. And obviously going back to the Wii now is not really an option. Then they go, well, you've got your Wii U, says like literally a third of the Switch population. They're like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
Well, 2/3, I should say. 2/3 of the Switch population says, no, we don't. You know?
Yeah, but no, we don't. We never... We're not that silly, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can buy it on the Wii U shop and play it there and all that stuff. And you know what? If I don't hear anything about it for ages, that's probably what I'll do. I won't lie to you. I would like to play those games over again. So
yeah,
you know, $27, I guess.
Is that how much it is on the eShop? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've I've got the copy from Dan on the Wii still. Like he let me borrow it and he never wanted to play it, so and I never got around to playing it, so it's just
there
on my shelf. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wants it, he's more than welcome to take it back. If yeah, but I don't know. Like,
You hear that, Daniel?
yeah, you hear that, Daniel?
Yeah.
If we don't hear from you, we know you're not listening to this, and we're not your friend anymore. Just put it there. You've got 2 weeks, son. Well, anything else you'd like to bring up, Bryce? Or you?
Well, no, I think that pretty much covers it. I feel like if I thought about it more, there would be like a whole host of Nintendo games that I would really want on there. But let's be realistic, not all of them are going to come, and some people are going to be more disappointed than others when it comes to that sort of thing coming in and out of the Switch library. But yeah, I just think that if we're going to have more ports and remasters and stuff like that, then we need to see some collections, some like real big updates to games, and make them really unique. And I think that's what a lot of people want too. Like, I know that people really want just to play their classic games on their Switch as well, but like the Ocarina of Time example, I think something like that would be like a real smash hit if you really did a really good job.
Put effort into it. It like if it doesn't come across as like easy money, it's like you've really put effort into this, and this is a beloved game and a beloved series. Yep. Just pop off, I reckon.
It would absolutely, and it would satiate people who are like, it's not. Breath of the Wild wasn't story driven.
So
no. I mean, it's like, I guess it wasn't. No, but yeah, here's your Ocarina of Time / Majora's Mask remake thing. It looks very incredible.
Is that the marketing behind it? Oh well, shit. Here's your Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
PR company. Would you like some codes for this PR or for this Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask thing?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah. Anyway,
exactly that. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts for listening to the House of Mario episode 95. We are on the 8-Bit Collective. If you'd like to check us out and other podcasts, search hashtag 8-Bit Collective on your social media of choice. And if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe on your podcast service of choice and leave us a cheeky 5-star review over iTunes or,
5-star review.
Yes, 5-star review. No, I got no jingle. I got no jingle left. Actually, I do want to bring up on Castbox. I looked at this recently. I've never been on Castbox. I searched us on Castbox, and someone came up saying that this is the first podcast they ever listened to. I do want to ask how we were the first podcast that came up when you first looked for a podcast to listen to. But I want to thank you very much for giving us a listen, whether you still listen now or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. A lot of love and effort goes into creating this show, so thank you. And obviously thank you to you guys listening to this now. That means you got through this to the end, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to talk to Bryce and I, there's a link to our Discord community in the show notes below. And I do want to put out a shout out as well. There is a month left until episode 100, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have any questions, things for us to talk about, maybe some audio recording from yourself you'd like to include in the show, maybe saying like your memories of the show or anything like that, feel free to hit me up at iDruby or the show at the House of Mario. Send me a private message or even a tweet, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
leave us there. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Episode 100 is going to be a big one. I'm going to make sure it's going to be fun to listen to and all that stuff.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, says Bryce. Oh yes. And this week's Nintendo Jukebox is by Ben Briggs. It's a Super Mario Galaxy Good Egg remix, and it's a banger. All right, guys.
And it's a banger.
See you next week for our normal episode and Detective Pikachu.
I'm David Attenborough.
It's a banger. Okay, guys. See you next week.